Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're here today with the Sims 4 speed build and it has been a while. I honestly can't remember the last time I was in game and I think it might have been February. Not entirely sure, could be February. Unless maybe my apartment renovation, I don't know. I can't remember, but it's been a while anyway. But recently I have been spending a lot of time in Miss Unfortunate's Twitch streams. She has recently started streaming again and she's just hit affiliate, which is really exciting. So I've been hanging out in there a lot and I'm really enjoying it. If you don't know her, I will leave her YouTube channel where she does really cool Sims 4 builds and sometimes Minecraft videos. And I'll also leave her Twitch as well. She is a variety streamer, so it's not just Sims she streams, but definitely check her out because she's really cool. But anyway, I've really been enjoying seeing her build in real time and just sort of seeing her thought process, you know, where she gets her inspiration and just how she builds. Because as I briefly mentioned before, she does the most incredible builds in The Sims 4. Like, I look at something she's built and I'm not entirely sure we're playing the same game. You know, she utilizes items in such an interesting way and we love to see it. So she has kind of inspired me to get back into building in The Sims 4. And, you know, I was working on this while I was watching one of her streams. Now, this build is inspired by an Amazon ad, funnily enough. This is one I saw back in like November. But on my phone, I have this folder of like build inspo, I guess. So whenever I'm scrolling on Facebook or on Twitter or something and I see something that I think could make an interesting Sims house, I'll just screenshot it and then come back to it later. So that's what I did with this. Now this has been sitting in my phone since about November. I'm only just doing it now. I don't often do anything from my inspo folder and I probably should, because then maybe my builds would be more interesting. But that's besides the point. So this build goes through a bit of a change, as you will see. Obviously, you might have already seen from the title and maybe description, I don't know. Depends if you read them. But originally, what I wanted this build to be was I wanted this to be like a cute manor house. And straight away, the build becomes a lot more gothic than my reference picture. Just because I couldn't do what the reference picture shown. That's not words. But I couldn't pull off the reference picture in-game, just because of the limitations in Sims 4 build mode. There is a wallpaper in-game that would have been perfect for this, but the game is annoying. So the one I'm thinking of is the one that's like, you know, the concrete and the brick at the side. For some reason, it doesn't trigger some of my end walls as end walls, so they don't get the brick when they should. So the whole build looked off, so I had to kind of compromise with columns. So then I ended up just making it black, and then, you know, the whole thing kind of changed. Like, from this point on, we're no longer looking at the reference, you know? We're going rogue, and that's my downfall every time. I'm not confident enough with my builds, and I do want to get out of my comfort zone more. I think I've maybe said that before in previous videos, but in The Sims, I have like my favourite items that I use all the time and overuse all the time. And I do want to just sort of get out of my comfort zone and build things I wouldn't normally build. So this house turning gothic, that wasn't really an issue because it's something different and I was having a lot of fun with it. You know, I was using, you know, different roof trims, I was using the little dividers in the walls. It was all going great. Until we got to the landscaping, because this is where I ruined it. I tried to use terrain tools. Now, I know I have definitely mentioned issues with terrain tools before, but in The Sims 4, when you raise terrain past a certain level, you get this horrible markings on the ground that you cannot terrain paint over. So in this lot, it was like really dark, muddy brown. And I wanted to try and hide that. But I don't use the tool mod or anything, so I am restricted to, you know, how the game lets me hide it, which is with move objects on and just layering objects. So I had to make the ground look really overgrown, and that wasn't what I wanted for this build. This was meant to be a cute home, and it was already overgrown. It already wasn't like my reference picture. I was getting a bit stressed, and I was so close to just, you know, scrapping the whole thing. But then as I started adding things, I was scrolling through debug and I thought, you know what? We're just gonna completely ruin this build, but in the best possible way. We're gonna deliberately ruin this build. So what I did was, I started making this disgusting. Ta-da! I kind of wish I timed that a bit better, so when I said disgusting, that's when the scene changed, but I didn't time it well at all. So I found that gate in debug that looked like a lot's being condemned, and I thought that would be really cool. And then we can just make the overgrown grass look like it's meant to be here, and we can have, you know, the doors blocked off, we can have the cracks in the walls, you know, this, that, and the next thing. And I had so much fun with this. This was so far from my original idea, it's ridiculous. But it was so much fun. So I really enjoyed this build, and I understand this isn't typically the sort of speed build that, you know, people go out of their way to watch. I think with speed builds, like speaking from my own experience, with speed builds, I like to either watch something I want to try and build myself, or watch something that I could never in a million years dream of building myself. So I either want to see like a simple but doable family home, or I want to see a crazy, you know, modded out, like, mythical village like that. There's no in between. And this doesn't really fit into any of those categories. Like, I mean, it is something you could definitely do yourself, because I, a complete novice, can do it. But would you want to? That is the question. But I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was definitely different than something I've ever done before. I would never have considered to build a non-functional house like this that's just filled with rubbish and looks disgusting, but I did it and it was fun, and you know, that's just what I needed. I needed The Sims 4 to be fun, and this was it. So I've been in a pretty big build mood since then. You know, I've had these ideas, you know, I've wanted to try different things out, and I built in Sulani. You know, that's something I've never done. I built a seafood restaurant in Sulani. I actually streamed that tonight. I'm doing the voiceover. I don't know what, it's Thursday. I'm doing the voiceover on Thursday. So I actually streamed that earlier tonight. I didn't finish it on stream because I wanted to end the stream. But you know, it's turning out quite cool, and you know, I'm quite happy with it. I didn't record it though, so you know, that won't be a video. But you know, I had fun doing it. I don't know how long this Sims 4 build phase will last, because The Sims 4 doesn't typically hold my attention for very long. With The Sims 3 and The Sims 2, you know, they're games I keep coming back to, but for different reasons than The Sims 4. The Sims 4, I don't think I've actually done any gameplay in The Sims 4 since December, and that was when I was trying out, like, slice of life mod and things, just to see if it could make my gameplay a bit spicier, and it did, but at the same time it didn't give me enough that I wanted to play it. So I don't know, The Sims 4 it's not a game I play much. You know, if I have a story I need to tell on The Sims, you know, I would do it in The Sims 4. But even then, you know, I have to kind of think, would I actually tell it in The Sims 4? This room here, I'm just going to kind of cut off my weird rant, and I'm going to talk about this room here for a bit, because I thought this is fun. This is my bit of an Easter egg in this build. So I have a little backstory for this build. The whole premise is well, it's not a really big backstory, but the premise is the house has been abandoned for X amount of years, and everyone that's ever owned this house has either died or they've had like severe mental trauma that they've ended up institutionalized, and nobody can ever figure out why. And then behind the hidden bookcase in the master bedroom, we have this strange ritual room with a creepy doll in a rocking chair. And I kind of imagine this doll as Annabelle. If you've ever seen like The Conjuring or Annabelle, this is a creepy haunted doll that has possessed the house and curses all the inhabitants. That's my fun little backstory for this. So this lot is actually on the gallery if you want it for whatever reason, but I don't know why you would. I'll be honest, it's not functional at all. But you know, if you want it and you want to try and fix it up and, you know, turn this house into the beautiful one that I could not, you're more than welcome. I would love to see how you fix her and restore her to her former glory. But yeah, so it is on the gallery. My gallery and social medias, by the way, are always linked in the description down below. So if you ever want to find me on other sites, I definitely recommend it. The one that I post the most Sims content on is definitely Tumblr though. I'm working on a few fun things that are strictly Tumblr, which, you know, you might be interested in. I've got a Sims 2 Pleasant View story. It's either coming up in my queue or it's just started, I can't remember. But I'm playing Pleasant View for myself, which is really fun. But yeah, that's this house. I had a lot of fun building this disgusting haunted house. And it's technically not haunted, it's also not a tiny home. It doesn't really fit any of like the restrictions the game sort of imposes in these kind of things, but I had fun doing it. I'm enjoying building in The Sims 4. That's the whole gist of this story. You know, we're all doing good. We're doing good. Again, I don't know how much Sims 4 content we'll have on the channel, you know, going forward. It's just as and when, really. Like all my content, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. But we are coming to the end of the video, I think, so I'm going to wrap up here. Sorry this voiceover has been a bit of a mess, like all my others, let's be honest. But I do hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what you would like to see on the channel. I'm always interested and I always take your feedback on board. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like and possibly even subscribing because that would mean the world to me. And I will catch you all in the very next video. Bye!